Skip ahead to the 1 minute mark for today's message. Let's get started. All right. Welcome back, my regular viewers, listeners, and watchers. And of course, if you happen to be here for the very first time, welcome. Before I go any further, my name is Rahul George, India's premier Hypnosis Life healer coach and your personal guide. So today's a very interesting theme, if I may say so myself. And this has everything to do with what's happening in your life. And maybe if you feel you've kind of come into some rough weather, the message is that it's time to adjust your sails. Now, of course, for those of you who are fond of language and you know that language can be spoken in one way, language can be heard in a different way. And I'm sure some of you may have already picked it up that, when life is tough or when life gets a little rough, it's time to adjust your sails. I'm not just obviously talking about the SAILS, like the sail of a ship, but also the SALES. So let's talk a little bit about SALES today, right? So, and something to keep in mind that if you're somebody who's struggling at this point, especially as a healer, especially as a coach, quite often it all comes down to your sales, meaning your SALES. So that is something to really, truly consider, to reflect on and journal it or meditate on it, because if you feel you're getting stuck, a lot of times it has to do with your sales. Now, obviously, I'm not just talking about sales as in the end objective, which is you're selling something, but it's everything that goes into making your sale. So, and for those of you who are keeping track of the puns on the word, keep a track and message me in the comments how many puns did you pick up on. So here's the point, right? So when you're struggling, it's actually not about the sale. It's got everything to do with what comes before that. It's got everything to do with what comes with your mind. So when you know that, maybe right now sales are down, you may have a question, okay, how do I change things around? Or why is it that I'm stuck in this? And this is where, when you start to do a lot of that introspection, you'll realize that somewhere you have entangled yourself, your survival, with your sale. And when you do that, obviously, whenever you happen to meet a prospect, whenever you happen to meet somebody who could become a potential client, could become a potential customer, or a customer, then a client, and then, of course, a member of your community. Before any of that, if you are entangling yourself in what's going on in your mind, maybe right now cash flow is a little low, whatever it be, if you feel that you're getting stuck in this, then it truly is the time to adjust your sales. And sometimes it can just be, maybe taking a break and resetting and coming back. Sometimes it could be talking to a professional, whether that is someone who's a professional sales whisperer or like a sales coach, or it could be someone who is a mentor, someone who is a mindset coach, whatever you feel drawn to as a start point. Like, okay, you know what? I have my own, blocks when it comes to asking, or when it comes to talking about money, or whatever it is that you are struggling at or struggling with at this point. That is a conversation to be had. And I can tell you this, if you do this long enough, pretty soon you will be sailing the high seas, glad that you chose to stick around, glad that you chose to do what's hard, and that is to be here, that is to be present. Because most often, the easiest thing to do is just to quit. Most often, the easiest thing to do is to complain. But instead, if you choose to be here, if you choose to show up, and of course, take help from people who are maybe even a step or a few steps ahead of you. Maybe they've, been on some of these rough seas before, and they know how to handle their sales. Which sales am I talking about? And so, as I said, this is the message for you today. For those of you who've been around now, we've gone past the 700 mark on YouTube. I think if you consider Facebook, it's definitely over 1,000. And the reminder, of course, is that you're really truly meant to do so much more, and just keep showing up. And that's the reason also why I keep showing up. Though I may not be posting at the right time, that is in tune with the algorithm, but I still make it a point to show up every day and to flex my muscle so that I'm able to stay in the game. And I'm here to support you. And in fact, we do have a community, and we are all about the hypnosis life. So if that is something that interests you, that is something that you're curious to know more about, and there is a link attached to this video wherever you happen to be watching this. So click on it, come and join us and experience what happens in our community. And if you believe that our community can help you and serve you so that you can do what you chose to do, what you set out to do, then we'd be more than happy to have you in our community. And of course, having said all of that, remember to live your purpose. God bless. And of course, I'll see you the next one. Take care.